It's time for Energy Insights, where you get an inside view and a local perspective of all the oil and gas progress going on in the Mid-Ohio Valley. This program is brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association and can be heard every Saturday on WMOA AM 1490 and FM 101.3, JAW's Classic Country FM 100.9, and ESPN AM 630 and FM 92.9. Here's Johnny Wharf, your local host.
Energy Insights on a Saturday morning brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Hal Pain is our guest from Miller Supply. Let's talk a little bit about Miller Supply 2025. Just tell me where you guys are, some of the transitions, changes you're going through, and what you're into these days.
Well, 2025 obviously has brought a little bit of change for us. I mean, with all the talk of tariffs and things like that, we are in the steel business. We sell a lot of different products that are both domestic and foreign, and we're seeing a big change in those prices right now. Everybody's just trying to get their hands around what we're doing. Where are prices going to go? Where are they going to be? So there's a lot of hesitation in moving forward with projects, things like that. A lot of quoting, that sort of thing going on. But it's hard for us to hold a price. It's hard for people to get their budget solid, because I can't hold a price any longer than, the next morning we wake up and there's another tariff that's on. So everything's changing.
Yeah, I think Gene Huck likened it to it's no longer a day-to-day or a month-to-month. It's more like an hour-to-hour thing.
Exactly. A lot of the quotes that I get are one-day quotes. And so it's good for today, and that's it. So that's kind of where we're at.
Hal Pain's our guest. Miller Supply is the company. As far as the general clientele that Miller Supply has, is it primary from the oil and gas industry? Is it wider spread than that? Or maybe you can kind of fill me in on that.
Yeah, Miller Supply Company, we're based out of Worcester, Ohio. That's where we're based out of, but we take care of the Appalachian Basin. So we have stores in Indiana, Pennsylvania, down to Coburn, Virginia. So we pretty much take care of all the Appalachian field. We've been in business since 1959, seen a lot of ups and downs. Obviously, since the Marcellus and the Utica, that has changed our whole perspective, really. Just the way that drilling is being done is completely different. Now it's we're getting a lot more efficient. We're able to cover a lot larger area with the lateral drilling that's going on, and it's just the efficiencies are unbelievable. The production that we're seeing is phenomenal from the Marcellus and Utica wells that are being drilled. So it's stuff that we would typically think of, say, 20 years ago as being an offshore type well they're that big. It's phenomenal.
Fantastic. Hal Pain, our guest. The show Energy Insights brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Hal comes from Miller Supply Company, and we thank him for taking part on our Saturday morning program. Our conversation continues with Hal Pain. He is with Miller Supply here locally, also based out of Worcester, Ohio. And when we talked last, you were talking about the change your businesses, many businesses went in when the horizontal drilling came about. Did you guys have to shake the whole business plan, or was it something that was an easy transition from what you did to what that brought to the table?
I can't say it was an easy transition. The thing that's happened the most is we used to have 1,000 customers, and because of the cost of the horizontal drilling, now we've distilled it down into just a handful of customers that really can move the needle. And so that part of it has really changed for us. And just how you work with the drillers and what they demand that we have, the inventory that we need to keep, that's all changed. Everything's thicker, heavier. It's just... For instance, 4.5-inch casing used to be the number one size that we would carry. We'd have 1 million feet in stock, and most time, at most times, now we might have 15,000 feet of 4.5 inch, and everything is 5.5 inch and larger diameters because of the volumes that these wells need to produce. They just have to have much larger size casing. So what it's done is it's driven the conventional driller, the guy that was down the street, that's kind of had been drilling for 20, 30 years, but he could drill a well that was, say, $400,000 or $500,000 a well. Now these wells are $6 to $10 million a piece, and so it's kind of taken that clientele out.
All right. And then as far as, I always think about my business and the fact where if you and I have known each other for 20, 25 years, we're the radio, they're listening to it on the phone, they're listening to it overseas, anywhere, anytime. The business that you're in, if, compared to 20, 25 years ago, dramatic change in terms of what you do on a day-to-day?
Absolutely. It is dramatic change. Again, just with the volumes that we're dealing with, not only in the casing that we're selling, but just like I say, the clientele. It's just completely different. We're dealing with a lot more technology than what we were before. Sure. Back then, we didn't have the type technology that they're dealing with today. Now, they pretty much know what they're going to get when they drill another well, so they're kind of in a manufacturing phase of drilling the Marcellus and the Utica. Yeah. It's not prospective drilling. It's just they know what they're going to get.
Yeah, that's cool to hear coming from you and somebody that's been in the business for a while. We appreciate your time here on the show and look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Okay, well, that sounds great, Johnny. Always good to see you.
All right. Hal Pain, our guest. Ken Miller Supply, the company. Energy Insights is the program, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association.
Thank you for listening to Energy Insights, brought to you by the Southeastern Ohio Oil and Gas Association. Tune in every Saturday morning on WMOA Local Radio, JAWS Country, and ESPN as Johnny Wharf brings you a local and inside perspective on the oil and gas industry right here in the Mid-Ohio Valley.